This
Okay.
conference will now be recorded.
This
Welcome.
conference will now be recorded.
Yes, it's now recording. My name is Kim. I am the moderator tonight. It is October 24th. Welcome, everybody. Everyone here has been here before. We'll do quick introductions anyway. Kim from Des Moines. I guess I'm currently demyelinating disease until I hear from my doctor next week. We seem to go back to MS. Currently on Ocrevus and diagnosed in 2012. We'll go with Marlo, and let me know if you need time tonight to talk. Welcome, Marlo.
Sterling Heights, Michigan, dimethyl fumarate, diagnosed in 21. I do not need time.
Okay, thank you. John, welcome, and please introduce yourself, and you are muted. You are not, I can't hear you at all. You were doing so well.
Yeah, new headset. Still learning about it. So I'm John. I'm from Mid Michigan, whatever, and I have MS. You guys know it. I'm on Zeposia, and a little bit of time would not hurt for me tonight,
Okay.
especially since Melissa's here,
Oh,
and so she's
she
gonna
should
try
come
to
and
say
say
hi.
hi. Yes. Oh, get on camera, girl. Hi, Melissa. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
They all say hello.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're like
she's
me,
just
where it's like, can't hear because they're on the headset. Yeah.
yeah. They all say hello. So she has to go grade some picture books. She has she's teaching children's literature, and they all have to make their own uh, picture book that is based on one of the classics like Pinocchio or whatever, but it has to have a twist on it. And these kids go crazy with like drawing and illustrating and putting their book together. It's like my favorite time of the semester, but the class is online, so I can't like actually feel them and look at them. Um, but there's some really good creative ones. There's some not so creative ones, of course. But it's not fun when you have 70 of them because she's teaching 3 sections of the same course, and then the capstone course for the
How
whole
old are
department.
they, John?
Oh, these are college students.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some are in like their second year of college, some are in their fourth.
I think this would be
Hi,
so much
Andrea.
fun to read. Oh, let's do it. Okay, so we got done with John. Sherry, welcome, and please introduce yourself.
Sherry from Gaylord, Michigan, diagnosed in 2008, and I'm not on any medication.
Did you need time tonight, Sherry?
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question.
Okay, great. All right, let's go to Carmen. We're international tonight. I did send you the email, the apparatus, just like before the meeting, by the way. Go
Oh,
ahead,
okay.
introduce yourself.
I'm Carmen from Canada. Hello. Primary progressive MS, diagnosed 2013. I'm on Ocrevus, and I would like a little time tonight, please.
Okay, great. And last but not least, oh, and she left. She'll probably be back in a sec. Okay, we'll go ahead and start with John. Go ahead and start us off.
Hey, it's mostly like really good news of some stuff that's been happening, so I really like to share this stuff because it can be hard at times to like find any wins in a day, you know. So like I've really been trying to be really focused on how that's going. Like last week we had doctor's appointments or people come to the house 4 out of the 5 days last week. So that's a lot of me being around people, including two in one day. Um, so like, hi, you're in my space. But luckily, one of the guys was there to fix my Hoyer lift. The I don't know what you call it, like the hammock. The hammock was like way, way, way too big. So that's why even at its highest height, I could not get onto into my chair or on the couch. So we've got smaller baskets or hammocks or whatever
Sling,
coming
I
in the
think
next
it's
couple of
called.
weeks.
A
A what?
sling, isn't it? Yeah, a sling?
Yeah, sling. Yeah, that's the word I
Yeah,
didn't know for a minute.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so that was really cool that we got that figured out. That takes a lot of nervousness out of the way because if I get into my wheelchair and we get me into the bedroom, I have a slide board that I can get into bed with. So that's good. Um, I haven't been feeling any UTI symptoms, so we finally got that knocked out of the park. Yeah. But yeah, I'm increasing my fluid intake like a lot, and also I'm taking the cranberry pills in my daily medicine. I forget the name of it, but they're cranberry pills. They smell funny. Oh, Matilda, are you here? Sorry, I have a dog next to me. If she hops up, I'll show you. Um, I got fitted for a smaller manual chair, which is a big thing because mine weighs 65 pounds, and it's destroying Melissa's back, loading it in and out of the car. So a smaller one is going to really make things better for her. Say hi, Matilda. Say hi, Matilda. This is my little girl. Um, so yeah, so that was like another that was another win, and this is another win right here. Uh, hey, kitty. Yeah, my chair is going to be smaller, lighter, suited to me rather than everyone's got pets out today. Um, it's just going to be better overall, and I love that a lot. It's going to be orange, so I can rep my colors. And I have an MRI tomorrow, and yeah, I'm anxious about it. Hi back again, Andrea. But just being able to talk about it has calmed me down. So thank you a lot for that. I appreciate that. So I'm all good.
John, have you not
Question. Go
had
ahead.
many oh, sorry. Have you
Go ahead,
not
Carmen.
had many MRIs, John?
Um, I have, but it's been like 2 years,
Uh-huh.
so I'm still just like nervous about it
Are you
because
claustrophobic?
um, yes, I am, and about 2 months ago, I was gonna have an MRI while I was in the hospital, but yeah, their Ativan didn't do shit all for me. So
Mm,
I'm gonna have the waking sedation. I'm gonna be sleepy. I'm gonna have them play some nice, gentle music. I'm gonna have a cloth over my eyes. I'm gonna dream about when I become a billionaire, and we all go on like a really accessible cruise together.
cool.
So yeah, it's gonna go just fine. I know it, but there's always just that
Mm.
fear in the back. And it's funny that I'm claustrophobic because I'm a geologist, and I've gone in lots of caves, but that's not a cave. Yeah, that's a metal tube. It'd be awesome if they had like little televisions in there, you
Some do.
know? Yeah, some do. And just what do you want to watch? We have Star Wars. I want to watch and listen to Star Wars because I will fall asleep because I've seen that movie 7 trillion times. So yeah, so that's all I really needed for tonight. Just some nice things have happened, and I hope that everyone gets some nice wins and take them even the smallest that they come. Like Matilda jumping up and saying hi. That was awesome because usually she's right by Melissa.
So I'm asking you a whole bunch of questions today, John, but I'm just so curious. You got a Hoyer
That's all
lift,
good.
eh?
Yes, yes.
So is that I haven't looked at them. I mean, I know what you're talking about, but is that gonna
Mm.
like that's gonna probably make a big difference for you because you've had to call for help a few times, right?
Yeah, even while in the Hoyer sling because it was sitting me too low and the
Oh,
EMTs couldn't get me like into my chair or stuff like that. Um, and the last time I went to the hospital, I was in the Hoyer lift. They could not get me into the gurney. So we just sheeted it up. The four of them picked me up, put me in, and we got on our merry way.
Hmm.
But yeah, we have a lift in the home, and we have all of our couches lifted so that we can get the lift into me, onto me. Um, Recliners, we can do that in those as well.
Oh, good.
Um, yeah, so we are 100% sure that the large sling is needed, not the 2XL. But everyone always overestimates their size when you are heavy. When you're a heavyweight, when
Yeah.
when you're obese, you overestimate your own size. So when the guy from the DME, the durable medical supply people, he came by and he was like, "Yeah, this is too big, and yeah, everything works. It's just the sling, and have a good day." I was kind of here for like 5 minutes. Like, "Hey, Bob, see you, Bob." So yeah, we were able to get that whole thing figured out, which is really, really nice.
Mhm.
Just those wins are kind of piling up, which makes me scared because who knows what's going to happen to fix that karma.
Hey, just roll with it, John. You deserve some smooth sailing for a bit.
Yeah, yeah. I think we all do. I think Melissa especially does.
Hmm. Hmm.
We have some fingers out into respite care. Like I might go into it like at the end of the semester when she has a lot of shit going on and I don't need to be present for it. I think that would be a good time, and right before the holidays as well, because we'll be traveling down to Missouri for where her family's from, and it'll be the first time that her nephew will have seen him in 2 years, 3 years, because he's been on his mission trip for the Mormon Church. So it'll be the first time to see him, and I can call him Elder Smith. How are you today? Because he achieved that. You know, um, yeah, it'll be good to get everyone together. I hope that my new chair manual will be here so that we don't have to lug around the 65-pound one all the way down to Missouri.
Have you thought about using a ramp or anything to help get the chair in and out of the car or vehicle, John, for
Or
Well,
Melissa?
it has to fold before it goes in.
You can't wheel it up on a ramp after you fold it.
Well, I know. I never thought of that.
I mean, ramps are
Melissa,
not like super, light
yeah,
either. I mean, there are some, but I'm
yeah,
just wondering if anything you can do to preserve her back is key.
yeah.
they've got cool lifts.
Doctors,
Just go in the back of your vehicle that have an arm that come out, and then you can
yeah.
connect.
I feel like by the time we get that all set up, the lighter chair will be here. And I'm
Yeah.
not kidding when I say I got out of the lighter chair and she just picked it up. Like a strong man picking up a 50-pound weight. Like, no big deal. This is here. I love this. So we just want that to be here like tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, some good stuff. Anything else,
Cool.
Carmen?
No, 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 that's it. Good. I'm so happy to hear though.
Thank you.
Right. If no one has any other comments for John, we're gonna go ahead and just stop for a second and introduce the three people that have entered the chat. We will start with Andrea. Welcome. Introduce yourself and let us know if you need some time tonight.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I was diagnosed 2011 with relapsing remitting. I might now be secondary progressive. Let's see, Ocrevus, North Carolina Outer Banks, and no, I don't need any time tonight.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. Welcome, Christy. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know if you need any time tonight.
I'm Christy. I am in Brighton, Colorado. I was diagnosed in 2003. I have secondary progressive. I am currently on Ocrevus, and I don't know if I need time tonight.
Okay, I'll put a big question mark on you. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming.
Um,
Okay, and then I believe, do you pronounce it Laura? Welcome.
Oh,
Introduce yourself.
hi, Lara. I missed you folks a few weeks ago. I wound up in one of the caregiver support groups. Hi, I'm Lara. I have a demyelinating syndrome that is technically not MS, but similar to MS, being treated by Tysabri. I'm in New York. I do have some questions, just not some. I just have a question tonight, if possible.
Well, welcome. We're okay if you're just demyelinating or clinical isolating syndrome. We're cool with that. I actually got my diagnosis got changed. God, was it September from MS to demyelinating? But I might be going back to MS after my tests I had. So,
Oh, so you're never really out of the game. I understand.
well,
Uh,
I'm just a rare bird per my neurologist. So, but what was your
mhm.
question since you're new to the group? What
Oh,
was your questions? I want
okay.
to get to it tonight, especially since you're on East Coast time, so it's real late at where you're at.
Oh, no, no, no. So excited to actually find you guys. Um, so on top of the DMS, I have a mixed connective tissue disorder. I've had 8 spinal reconstructive surgeries, right, with vertebrae, the whole, and hardware. Has anyone used ketamine for or tried under a doctor's supervision? Clearly, maybe not clearly. Um, and how mm, is it a taboo topic to bring up with your doctor? Is it like I'm trying to find a psychiatrist, and frankly, I'm afraid to ask. Like, do you prescribe ketamine? Even though I have an anesthesiologist that can purchase it for me this is like I never thought it would be possible, and give me the infusion because he does that all day in the hospital. Um, so I never thought it was possible. So now this possibility opens up, uh, and I don't I don't know if I'm allowed to ask anyone about this.
Good question. Does anyone have any experience or know anything about this at all?
No, but I wanted to try ketamine infusions for depression,
Mhm.
but I'm kind of scared because of the side effects.
I've
Yeah,
had
they're
it
not.
for anesthesia, and I only felt good when I woke up,
Oh,
even though it was for spinal surgery. I know, which is odd, right? And it lasted for like 3 to 6 months. Uh,
Wow.
Oh.
yeah,
What are you wanting to treat with it, Laura? With the ketamine, what are you trying to treat?
chronic pain, uh, and the fatigue of the demyelinating combined with the other flavors of illness.
Okay. Well, it's been around for a long time. It's not used as frequent. I think they're kind of bringing it back a little bit, but I'd say it's not an illegal substance. You're not asking for like heroin. So I say go for it. Ask them like, "Hey, I've heard about ketamine. What do you think?" And I've had this experience and just see if they look at you. They might look at you and go, "You're nuts," or they might be like, no, we don't do that here, but I am familiar. It just depends on the comfort level of your doctor. And I know some of my doctors are like, I don't do X, Y, and Z, and then they're comfortable with me going somewhere else for that. So I always like to be open and frank with my doctors. So if something intrigues me or I find helpful, I always approach it, and I don't let fear freak me out. But that's just me.
That's great advice for life. So thank
it
you.
never hurts to ask.
And if you ask
And
this
it
group,
truly never hurts.
yeah, and you ask this group, how many of us have had to fire a doctor? Raise your hand if you had to fire a doctor. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
And
if
John, were you trying to say something? I couldn't hear you.
oh,
Yeah,
you're
can't hear
muted again,
you.
John. He has a new headset. He's working on it.
I heard that.
Yeah, I raised my hand like I was f bombing. Sorry about that, YouTube. When you read my lips, I was just gonna say like I agree with Kim, and you guys know how I am. I am very, very, very open with my doctor about like my marijuana usage and things like that. I'm just open about it. And if I say like, hey, I heard about this new injectable that could really turn around my blood sugar. How do you feel about starting me on something like that? Primary care was like, you know what? It makes sense. Let's give it a whirl. You know, um, or when I said, hey, I think Zoloft is not working for me anymore. Can we do the cheek swab? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Let's get you on the best medicine for you. So bring up everything, and be forward about it. If you feel comfortable, I know that sometimes it can be uncomfortable at first, but like Kim said about firing a doctor, they also like work for me. So if I got to boss them around sometimes, you got to do that. But, I mean, best of luck when it comes down to it and you're seeing your doctor and you're asking about it, okay? Like, best of luck to you for bringing it up. And Kim, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I have mad respect for a doctor when they say, so when I was diagnosed with MS and I went back to my primary care physician and I'm like, hey, can you start me on this drug? And he's like, I will start you, but I don't feel comfortable, I need a neurologist on board. Mad respect. So when they tell me their limitations, I am totally cool with that because I don't want them practicing outside of what they feel comfortable with. So I have mad respect for that. But if they just don't feel like it or they don't like it, then find someone that will work for you or help you out or at least get you explore or be open. Or if they don't like, well, do you know someone who does or is interested or is it something that's even possible? And they will tell you. A lot of times, they'll be like, oh yeah, but this is uncommon or we only do this with this and they'll let you know if this is a door that potentially can open or if this is like a no research purposes only. So
And we really need to know what happens. Like, we really need to know, like, how it goes. Like, I'm a little invested in this right now.
I promise to report back. Yeah,
Cool.
I know it does feel like you're asking about heroin.
Yeah.
But I am open about the marijuana use, and I did take notes on all your questions, and I will use them in a variety of manners. Thank you. I will let you know how it goes.
Awesome.
great, great. But don't
I,
let fear. I always hate it when people let fear like run. Like pe- I'm very at my appointments. I'm very, very open and direct, and I want answers. And I get real concerned when a person goes in there and they come in like all timid, like, oh, I don't want to bother the doctor, and the doctor's busy, and that just no, like John said, they're there for to help you out and work for you, and you got to be open and honest. Like, hey, if you're using, like John said, I use marijuana. It makes them be able to help you the best if they know what's going on versus only getting a partial story. So
I think my neurologist would actually smoke with me. Like, honestly, if I saw her, like, not as a patient, I'd be like, hey, you want to do this? She'd be like, yeah, I just have that feeling.
cool. Does anyone else have any questions about or any other comments about ketamine? Or did Laura, did you have anything? Did you want to tell us anything more about yourself at all since you're new to the group? Or
I guess I've been dealing with doctors for 40 years, uh, with this mixed connective, and in general, the more illnesses I've had, diagnosed, I became more quiet. But lately, I did have to fire a different doctor, and I wound up having an amazing new doctor. So I thought I would take a chance and start asking around about ketamine, and I'll let you know how it goes on all ends.
yeah, because I think a great doctor will let you know, like, hey, I don't do that, I'm not comfortable, or like, it's just not normal, or like, yeah, we do have a small amount of people that do this, and this is where you need to go for that. So, yeah. Are you part of our email so we get you get the announcements when we have meetings and stuff, Laura?
Yes, but for some reason, I was on the wrong week, but I'm on the right
That
week now.
happens very frequently.
been there, done that.
We've all been there, done
Yeah.
that.
I did join another group on another night, and they were lovely.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely are.
Oh,
Well,
yes, I remember now. You came in, didn't you come into the Care Partners group? Was it the?
Yes. Yeah, they're really warriors, honestly.
Oh, yeah. You know, I've asked them. The way we work at AnCan is that the moderators really dictate the tone and what we talk about and who comes to the group. And I have asked the moderators if we could have MS caregivers in that group, but they want to keep it to cancer right now because they feel like it should be cancer based. So I have to say, okay, but they are great. And care partners are very welcome in this group. We've said that many times. Um, Hold on a minute, I've got to get rid of that. We've said that many times, but we don't have a specific care partners group yet for MS. But we may do. We may do. It's not out the question because we got like John's wife, who
Uh,
we think would come.
she's here
she,
tonight.
sh yeah, she dropped in and said hi to the people that were here, but she has a lot of grading to do for being a teacher, so
Oh,
she had to excuse herself to the
oh.
back room to do that.
Oh, and I
Yeah.
don't know about Kim's husband. I don't know. I've never really got a read on whether he would. I don't think he would attend a care partners group. We've got, and then we got.
He's pretty introverted. Now, if it was that he could just write and not be on camera, he'd be very prolific because he, unlike me, can type fast and type accurately. So he just the medium with the talking is not his medium. Unlike me, where I'm terrible at writing, he's amazing at that. So
You're a good twosome.
yeah,
You're
we
a
Yeah.
good.
cover all areas.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But we're going to continue on because we have a couple people that want to talk. And Karen has
Sure.
made the chat. Karen, introduce yourself, please, and let us know if you need time tonight.
You talking to me?
Yeah,
Yes.
talking to you. What is there another Karen in the room? It's just you, girl.
I didn't hear. I'm on my tablet. I'm kind of tired. I just got home.
Okay.
I'm
Well, your hair's
Karen. I'm in
super cute
Oakland,
tonight.
but I want to show you all something before it gets dark. It's going to be dark because I've been struggling for a year and a half, almost 2 years, getting down my steps, and I now have.
Oh,
I'm right
Finally
here.
got installed?
could this be
No,
something
it's
beginning with
actually
an R or an
no,
L?
but it's not
Ah,
the L part is still messed up. The one I got is messed up, but
okay.
the lift is useless without a platform to come out on. And can I turn my camera around? How do you do that? How do you do that?
You're on iPad, and I'm not familiar with iPads anymore. Sorry.
I mean, there's usually just a
If you
active
hit the
camera.
screen, sometimes you'll see the
I would just pick it
buttons
up
come
and
up.
turn it around, but that's just me.
But
I
then you
know,
can't
but
see what you're
I
pointing at.
usually I don't just have a lift. I have this amazing deck. I'll show you pictures later maybe, but I can go outside on my deck
Yeah.
Oh,
and
awesome.
there is a lift. It's still not working correct. It works good enough. I don't know if you can see it,
No,
but
I think you need to go down. You're looking towards the
Point
sky.
down. Yeah.
I'll show you pictures later, but I can do this much walking on my deck. I got this amazing contractor and I'm walking around. He goes, you can have 100 people here dancing on this thing. Like I can be outside. I've been confined to the house because it was so hard to get down the stairs. And I
That's
do
That's
so
have the
awesome.
lift.
amazing.
Yay! You know, Karen, if I make it to
Yay.
Oakland, I would so have a dance party on your deck. You know that.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I know. Why won't the camera do? I don't know why it won't. It won't do it. Well, maybe later. I'll take some time just to show you.
Okay.
because it's too much trouble. Just to show you
Well,
the
yeah,
pictures.
because everybody in this group feels like they've given birth to
How do you think
I
deck,
I
you
know.
feel?
know?
And I've finally given birth to this, because Marlo said you should have gotten it 2 years ago. And it's like, no, I got it just in time. But I'm outside my house, standing on a
That's
deck.
so great. Awesome.
And what's
And
the
I have a lift
temperature
that
there
goes
right
up.
now, Karen?
What?
What's the temperature?
So I'll take time later. I'll show you. I'll show you the picture.
What's the temperature, Karen?
The
Oh, the
weather.
time. Well,
Yeah.
it was a little chilly, so I put on a jacket.
What's chilly for you?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look it up what the temperature is.
Like, is it
65.
That's what
70s,
I'm
Probably,
thinking.
60s?
probably something like that.
Because it's been in the mid to upper 70s here in Iowa, and
Oh,
Marla was
wow.
saying that they were also getting 70s weather there. But frost earlier in the week, you said, Marlo?
Yeah, Monday was frost, and today's in the 73-ish.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
We're supposed to get
we've
the
had
first
kind of
frost.
crazy weather, but it's perfect, the weather here. It's perfect.
Karen, I have to tell you about the craziest weather that I've ever seen in Michigan. Okay. So we had 3 days off in a row at
For
school.
what?
The the first day was for I'm gonna get these all mixed up. Oh no, first day was for a snowstorm. The heat went up, so the second day was a fog day because in Michigan the fog gets really thick. And then the last day was for the electrical going out from the flooding from all the snow that happened 2 days before. So
And
that's
melted.
crazy Michigan
And melt.
weather right
Yeah.
there.
Hmm.
3 days, three different ways to stay home.
And when the weather changes where you are, it doesn't change for the better,
Right. This time
right?
of year, it's not changing for the better at all right now. But we got
Okay.
a day. We got today.
Karen, did you need any time tonight?
Well, yeah, I'll show you the pictures later. I just walked
All right.
in,
All right.
so
Let me get
so
on to the
thank
next
you.
person that wanted to talk, which is Sherry. Sherry, what would you like to talk about tonight?
Um, I don't have dental insurance,
Uh-huh.
and my front tooth fell out. That's right next to my big tooth that broke off laterally. So I'm gonna have a bunch of dental work done. I was wondering if anybody knows anything about Care Credit.
Yeah, care
Yeah.
credit can be good. The only thing I would suggest, they usually run a promotion like the first 12 months is no interest. However, just be careful with that to get whatever you put on care credit to get it paid off in that 12 months. Because if you don't, then they're going to go back interest wise all the way to the beginning and charge you for it. I learned that lesson the really hard way.
Who does the promotion?
Care credit.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah. Usually like um anytime you have, and it's not just your first charge, it's anytime you have a new charge. They'll do like a 12 months no interest,
Oh, okay.
6 or 12 months depending on where what the service is for.
Yeah.
But like I said, just make sure you get it paid off in that promotional period because they will go back and from the beginning and charge you interest. So yeah, I was pretty shocked that I didn't get, this was years ago when I first had it, and I didn't get it paid off in the 12 months. And I then got a bill that was like so high. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And that's when I
Mm,
found out that I didn't pay it off during the no interest promotional time.
okay.
And so they went back to the beginning of when that was charged and charged all the interest for a year.
Okay.
So but care credit's really good. It's good to have, and a lot of places do accept care credit. So I don't know. If you're interested in it, I say go for it. But
I did. I got approved.
okay, but
But
yeah,
I
I'm
understand what
just
the
letting you know.
promotions were, and some of the payments can be like $500 a month, and I'm like, oh wow, I don't, I don't want to go walking around with my teeth missing. I feel bad enough already. Well, I can't walk anyways, but you know,
But yeah, I would just check with them and see what the like what the terms are interest wise for your charge. And like I said, just be very cautious and get it paid off as quickly as possible if you can, so it
okay,
doesn't come back to you in the interest. It's pretty shocking. I was just like, whoa.
okay.
I only
Thank you.
had like $1,200, and now I don't remember the amounts. I'm just making some up right now. I only had $1,200. I didn't get it completely paid off, and now I'm have a bill of close to 4,000. It was
Oh,
like that. It was pretty horrible.
oh,
Whoa.
We
So
look really close to the term, Sherry. And the always things I always ask is there a penalty for paying off sooner? I always ask that.
mhm,
Or paying over the amount.
okay,
well, in care credit they encourage it. Um,
Good.
and so I would just contact them and see what their promotion is for the interest for your
okay,
payments.
okay.
Harry,
Thank
the,
you.
I
the
don't.
other
Can I say something about dental though? I don't. Do you have Medicare?
Yes.
I don't know in California. I don't know if it's everywhere, but I think Medicare is federal. That they
Yes.
do actually are required now to provide some kind of dental care.
I think that I
Really?
don't think so. I think that some advantage programs
Oh
include
yeah, that's
dental,
it. Oh, that's true.
but it may only be the advantage programs. The other thing, but what I was going to say to you, Sherry, is that because it might be worth you traveling, um, you might want to check out if there are any dental schools um, further down in the state,
Oh,
because
I know there's one down by John.
so because you might be able to get it done without payment at a dental school, in which case it's worth whatever it is to get there if it's a big bill.
Yeah.
And Sherry, if you come down here, I'll take you out to lunch. We'll hang out. It'll be fun.
We just drove through Big Rapids going to Dowagiac last weekend for a wedding. I said,
Dental's
hi,
not
So
John.
cheap.
Hi, Sherry. I've got to say goodbye for the night so I can get into bed and get prepped for that waking up at 6:30 in the morning to get to my MRI.
Let
So
us know how the MRI goes tomorrow, John. I hope it's a lot
yeah,
more
absolutely.
less stressful than what you're
It's
making
it's
out.
gonna be just fine.
You're going to be
You
just
know, yeah, everything's gonna be great. So thanks again, everyone. Have a good couple weeks. We'll talk soon.
bye.
Bye.
good
Bye.
night, John. Sherry, how long does it take to get down to where John is?
Orne, Orne. Probably hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours.
Well, it's worth checking the dental school down there and see if you could get in for something like that. And I mean, it's your call, but it could
Yeah,
save you having a bill hanging over your head.
I know, but I feel bad with my teeth missing. I look like a crack hole. I
Okay,
just,
but maybe they can take you this week, next week. You don't know.
well, transportation is another thing because I have a special needs grandson, so that factors into transportation and everything, and it's just I just gotta do what I gotta do, fighting for
Okay.
him. If I gotta pay, I gotta pay. I have to.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't think you can sneak up to Canada and get free dental work up there, unfortunately.
And don't
We
you
don't
have to
have
have a passport?
we don't have free dental work.
Wow.
It
Kids
doesn't
do.
count in your universal health care at all, no?
No, 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 no. There are some changes coming, but no. I mean, I'm lucky I have good benefits from my work, but
Mm,
not dental care is expensive here too.
mm.
And if in the UK, I have a friend, she lives in Wales, and she needed a dental appointment, and they said they have like a year and a half wait list and a year and a half wait list, and they wrote it down by hand.
Yeah. And it's not even free when I was a kid,
No, and it's
dental
not even
care was
free. Yeah.
totally free. It's not even free anymore in the UK.
So for those of us who are going, oh, if only we had socialized medicine.
I know. I do whatever I can to prevent. I know Sherry had medication that created all the problems that she has with her teeth, unfortunately.
I'm
But
sure.
I know for me, I am like super diligent with my teeth. I brush twice a day. I use an electric toothbrush. I floss. I get my 6 month of checkups. Like I am hardcore because I understand anything dental is super expensive. You don't have it's not like medical where I can just max it out after my infusion. There is no max to my knowledge, and it's also super painful. Like no, no. So I'm very grateful that take the extra like, oh, I don't want to brush my teeth tonight. I don't want to have any problems. But
Mm,
yeah, but a lot of times like Sherry, medication will do a massive number on your teeth depending on what you
yeah.
do where you can do everything you can and you still are going to have these issues, which is super frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need an extra little kick in the pants like I do, like keeping really up and up on the preventative care with my teeth just so I don't get into that where ugh, that stuff gets expensive and it's painful. Just
He
I'm
wouldn't
kind of
take them.
lucky.
He wouldn't take them out. He wouldn't. It was. I wanted to see if I could get dentures the same day, and he won't. He said I won't do bottom dentures number one. And he said you still got a lot of good teeth left. I said, but they're cracking and falling out and breaking and everything. I said, I'm not gonna get a husband looking like this. Well, I'm not.
Well, you might, someone
Women
might
looking
just
a
go
lot
shoot
worse
for a
than
million.
you that get a
I,
husband, so you just let your personality shine. That's all.
I used to give myself a lot of you know, um, hard time about my teeth because my teeth are all crooked and everything, and I have this massive overbite and everything. And then I had a dentist go, "Oh, I would love to have your teeth. I would wait in line for your teeth because," and it just kind of like opened my eyes that cosmetically, yeah, I don't have the super white, perfect teeth that, actors will spend massive amounts for, but my teeth are very functional and they work and so I just kind of let go of the fact that they're not like these ideal and actually when you look at American teeth and you look at like the rest of the world, then sometimes like, oh, you're just like actually a little bit too white, a little bit too bright, doesn't like look real, you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I had to get over that because I had crooked teeth ever since my front two teeth, the permanent teeth came in, and then they were all dented and discolored because they gave me medication when I was super young because I knocked out my teeth when I was like a toddler or something. So I just
Yeah.
had to like over the years get over my teeth issues and just know that if they find my skull somewhere, you don't need a forensic dentist because you could just see the imprints go, that's Kim. Hello.
Hopefully you
Anyway,
don't lose your skull.
yeah, well, but hopefully, Sherry, you get that taken care of. I hope you get something financially figured out. I don't even know if there are places that will help pay for that and cover part of the expenses that you can look into. Um, I
They,
don't.
if you obviously I don't know your income status and it's none of my business, but well, no, actually Medicaid is not covered dental anymore, right? That's my ancient information.
No,
Probably depends
I
on the
have,
state.
I don't know. I know a lot of people, friends of mine, that they're on Medicaid and it covers dental.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I think it depends
Yeah,
on the state, just
it's
like
hard to
Kyoto.
find a
possibly.
dentist to accept it.
Well, I just want to say about dental, because Karen's a vigilante when it comes to getting good care and getting what I need, and I fight for it. So when I got on Medicare, there was this dental plan you can get on, and I looked at every single dentist in Oakland, Alameda, Berkeley, and either they weren't available or they were crappy. And then
Mm,
San Leandro's literally like a 12-minute drive from my house, and I don't know, something in my heart, I said, this is the place. So I've been going there for 7 years,
mm,
and I get cleanings from my insurance. And then I used to have to pay a little, but I don't anymore. So then I broke a tooth one Saturday, like a piece of my tooth fell off. And then they said, we don't have an appointment until whatever. And I thought, this is going to be a nightmare. And the dentist does my cleaning. They don't even have hygienists, so they have the dentist do it. And at that point, I had just dropped the little copay. So she said, well, it's kind of okay. And if you want, I can grind it down and it'll cost $50 for the visit.
wow,
Amazing. And it's held up since then. That was like, who,
good.
that was amazing. Yeah.
I have my Medicaid pays for my Medicare.
Like
Yeah.
the
So they
premium.
don't cover dental.
No, so I don't know how that works or anything. Maybe I should talk to somebody about it, but I don't know. I just get disability. I just get the minimum amount. But my Medicaid does cover my Medicare premiums because I didn't know you had to pay for Medicare. My aunt's like, yeah, you do. I said, oh,
Is there a social worker you can reach out to or somebody, there might be
I
something.
don't know. There might be someone I can, yes. There might be. My therapist. Maybe
So
he
this
can.
is the perfect opportunity to tell you guys that you need to come to our Medicare 2024 webinar next Monday night, because
Really?
those are the sorts of questions you'll be able to ask. Now, in a quick moment, um, I will put the registration link in, but it is in your MS reminder. It is in the reminder that you guys all received. So open the reminder and you'll see it in there. And this is basically for people who are on Medicare, and it will talk about 2024 and what the changes are, and if you want to make changes. And we've got somebody from Triage Cancer, and we got a Medicare broker, insurance broker. So we'll be happy to help anybody. So if you have
Oh,
friends who want to know about Medicare, it's not disease specific. However, you will have your own representative asking questions to the two experts in the form of Miss Kim, who will be one of the questioners. So, come on, support Miss Kim. You can even send her your questions and she'll make sure they get asked. I shouldn't say that. She'll do her best to get them asked. But I will put it in, and hopefully it'll be helpful for you.
thank
Um,
you.
so, and that's exactly why we're doing this webinar. There's always a lot of Medicare, Medicaid issues. You want to ask about dental, these are the people that can tell you exactly how dental fits in or doesn't fit in, or what have you. So
Cool.
please come by
I'll
next
be
Monday.
there.
Okay.
I would
All
too,
right. And,
because
and you do have to register. It's not on this platform. It's on a different platform.
Okay.
and you'll have to register. It's on our go-to webinar platform. But when you register, the link will get sent out. And
And
also,
did
And
you?
you'll
you'll
put that in the
probably
chat room. You'll put that in the
It,
chat,
I'll
right?
put it. I will
okay.
put it in the chat momentarily.
Okay.
And you'll also get a webinar notice from us. I think Alexa said it's going out in the next day or so, and then another one probably on Monday morning. But so you'll hear all about us. And the I cannot put the flyer up, but the flyer is very scary because it's on
Halloween theme.
October. It's a Halloween theme on October 30th. Okay. So, and the idea is we don't want to make Medicare scary. That's what we're saying.
Can I
Okay.
give you a report about, I think there were problems getting in on the website. I know for me, like I usually go on my computer, but I'm in my kitchen on my tablet, and there were issues, right, in the past. So today I followed Alexa's instructions, and apparently I must have deleted the go-to web because it wasn't working. And they just said, well, you have to download it, and no problem, lickety split, got in.
Thank you. That's
And
always
I can
good.
see, and I can see 1, 2, 3, 4. I can see, I was on Romper Room once. I can see Rick, and I can see Kim. I can see Sherry, and I can see Christy, and I can see Marlo, and I can see Carmen.
You on
And
Romper Room? Isn't that from Chicago?
It's from New York, and I know
Oh.
nobody will believe me, but I was extremely shy as a child. Extremely shy. And my sister was very whatever. So my mother would take the A train down to the studio, and my sister got a 2 or 3 week thing being on Romper Room, and one of the kids weren't there. So my mother said, "Well, they took you." And I remember I just sat there like they gave me a puzzle, so I didn't. I was probably 3 or 4. I just sat there. She goes, "Well, they didn't put the camera on you very much, but I know I was on Romper
do we
Room."
have any other questions for Sherry before we move on to the next person?
Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank you, Sherry. Okay, Carmen, you're up, girl.
Well, I'm happy to announce that I've just been signed off to drive with my hands.
Yay.
Like literally an hour ago, basically. I just got home and just finished my last drive with my instructor, and he said, "You're good to go." And it was just really funny. Like he said, when I was driving with him last week, he said, you get to a point where you just know, and usually you and I get to that point together. And he was kind of like, I almost like I could sign you off. And I just said, no, I think he goes, I think maybe just another hour or two. I said, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So that's all we did this week. And actually he came to my town. In the past, I've had to drive to him, which is only about like half an hour, 45 minutes away. But because he came here, I was driving around in my hood. And so that helped me feel a lot more comfortable too, just because I know the roads. And he just said, okay, go to this location. I don't care how you get there. So then I could decide. And that was perfect. So, like 20 minutes in, I was just like, okay, this is just driving now. And that's exactly how it felt. So, but now it's going to take, like, he has to submit his report to Road Safety BC, and then it takes 8 to 10 weeks for them to get back. And in the meantime, I can order the controls, but they can't be installed until I actually have my license in hand. So who knows how long that'll take, but at least we're one step in, a big step in. So
Nice.
yay!
Congratulations.
That's
Yes.
exciting.
You're
I'm
gonna
trying
go
to figure
anywhere
out
you
when I'm going
want.
to come visit you, Carmen, so you're ready to go and drive me
Yeah.
around.
Mm-hmm. Pick you up at the airport.
Exactly.
And
What
you're
were you
gonna
saying,
go
Marlo?
anywhere you want, whenever you want.
I
I love
know.
it.
I can't wait. I can't
And
wait.
I am so excited for the freedom you're going to be experiencing. I know you're going to have
Mm-hmm.
to wait longer than you want to, but I am just so, because nothing's cooler when you think that you lost something and then you gain it back.
Yeah.
And I'm going from the inside. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you took the plunge on doing that because I know that you
Mm-hmm.
were and Marlo kind of like pushed you, and you're just like, okay, I know. You're going to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
driving like a free woman here soon.
Exactly. And then I just wanted to ask, like, you guys were talking about the ketamine infusions, and I haven't even ever heard of this. I feel so uninformed. So, is this something that's done? Like, I just quickly did a Google search, and there are some studies about ketamine use in MS, but does anyone know more about this?
This is the
It's a
first
horse
I'm hearing about it
tranquilizer.
too.
It's a horse tranquilizer, essentially. It's used in surgery. I've had it, and it's used in very long surgeries, especially with patients that I have epilepsy.
Mm-hmm.
So, when there are a number of considerations, is like the safest possible use. It's actually also used, this is crazy. They used it in an emergency room and they gave it to suicidal patients. Within 30 minutes, I think 30 minutes or 1 hour, 80% of the patients were no longer suicidal.
Wow.
And that continued beyond being in the hospital. So it's used for chronic PTSD, complex PTSD, a variety of things, but also I've heard for MS chronic fatigue, and I'm still researching. I know that it's used for chronic pain. I just have to find the case study on it.
Thanks, Clara. Interestingly, there's actually a ketamine clinic in my city. Like, I had no idea when I did this quick Google search. So I'm totally going to be looking into this because a bunch of things came up about fatigue, and like fatigue is just killing me. That's the worst. But if
Carmen, can you put a
yeah,
link to the clinic on the chat? Maybe Laura wants to check it out.
okay,
There are clinics. I do not believe they're covered by insurance,
yeah,
but
probably.
maybe, and it wasn't an option because of the price, but now actually they're also doing the nasal spray that's like uh, that's sent over the mail. But this anesthesiologist offered it to me. I felt bad, and thought it might help. But I know in New York, Hospital for Special Surgery does it. It used to be more expensive. The price is coming down significantly.
Hmm.
Kim, what do you know if there are any trials with ketamine in MS?
I've been out of it. I just know it's like an old drug and there's like some psychedelic kind of effects to it somewhat, and it just has a lot of side effects. So it's been kind of a lack of words here, kind of like a dirty drug because it's not like clean. So, but they've been bringing it more. They've been bringing it back more recently, and stuff. And I know that with the opioid epidemic and things like that, I think they've been kind of more open to looking at other things too, because they're so, really
So
negative on the opioids right now.
there are the National MS Society comes up with clinical trial ketamine for multiple sclerosis fatigue, and then
Ooh, you need to be in that, Laura.
on multiple sclerosis news today, phase 2 trial to determine if low dose ketamine eases MS fatigue. That's from February 21st, 23. So fairly
Oh,
current. I
wow.
mean, I haven't opened them and read them, but there are definitely some trials around.
You're on
Bring that
mute,
to my
Laura.
doctor. Thank you. Oh,
Yeah, send those to bring those take this to your appointment. That'd be really interesting. So it's not like you're coming out like from left field, like, hey, like there's something to this.
Rick, I
Anyway, that was it
registered
for me.
for
I'm
the
done. Sorry, Sherry.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I registered for the webinar and it says 8 p.m. to 8:30 or 9:30 p.m. Is that my time?
Eastern
8
time,
o'clock?
Eastern,
yes.
Oh,
Eastern, yeah,
really?
yeah.
Okay.
Eastern, 8 to 9:30 Eastern.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. Sorry, Carmen.
No,
And
no,
then,
it's okay. I was done. I'm done. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
thank
the
you.
registration link is in the chat window if anybody
yeah, I
wants
registered.
to register.
Any
And
other
please tell your friends as well. Please spread the word on this because it can be, can be helpful to lots of different people. Carmen, you're excused. Sorry.
If she
Kim, I
wants to
have
learn more about the American healthcare system, it could be interesting, but
Yeah, I'm
it
getting to
might
know
just,
quite a bit about the American health system just through you guys.
It'll probably just frustrate you more than anything.
Mhm.
No, it just makes me even more grateful for what I have here.
Yeah. So, Kim, I have a random question. I think there's a number of people on this call that take Ocrevus, and I've only had my first infusion of Ocrevus, and I feel like I have been getting into these crazy sneezing fits. Does that happen to anybody else, or am I just having random for some other reason?
Could be
Didn't
both.
happen for me.
You can't rule things out. Just because I didn't experience it doesn't mean that you're not going to experience something like that. It also could be the time of year. It could have
Could be the time of
agitated
year.
your allergies for all we know. Especially if you took the um excuse me, the steroid could have affected you in some way. I had more effects from the
Yeah.
actual steroid itself than the
I
actual
think you're
Ocrevus.
right.
So
Yeah.
that could be it, where it suppressed it and then it came back and you're like, why am I sneezing all the time? Good question
Interesting.
though.
Okay. Huh.
Um,
Thanks.
this is the second time today this has come up. Somebody spoke to me earlier on from our blood cancer group who's having blood pressure issues, and it turns out she just started a drug. And I said, well, did you need to take steroids? And she said yes. And I said, these steroids can do all kinds of weird stuff with your blood pressure, and some steroids are better than others, etc., etc. And I am not the expert on that. Lenciera really knows about it. So the steroids can affect you. So it could be the steroids. The other thing I wanted to say, Carmen, are you on Ocrevus right now?
Yep.
Did you? Yep. The other person that I would suggest you write to is Hannah, Hannah at AnCan.org. And you know Hannah, right, Andrea? Yeah, she helps moderate and she teaches all the art classes and everything because she's
Yep.
been on Ocrevus for years and she's also an Ocrevus ambassador.
Oh,
So,
that's right. Yeah.
so you might want to ask her, and she might be able to get an answer for you through her contacts. So I really would suggest you drop her a line. Um, but
I
as
owe her some pictures of art as it is.
There you go.
oh,
It's meant to be.
okay. Did you draw a skull? I want to know. Did you draw
What?
a skull?
I did. Let me go get it. I'll show you.
Okay, go get it. We want to see the skull. So if any of you missed the art class last Thursday, it's posted. It's on the webinar. It's on the YouTube channel, and it was for skulls. And Miss Karen, where's your skull?
I have one, and I can
I
tell
know
you,
you do.
I have to see where when I had a really hard time with it. Like even when I write about it. Oh, let's see. Ooh,
Oh, ooh,
Oh,
I
I've
like
got
it.
my
nice.
background on. Hold on.
Oh, we can see it. It's a little blurry
We can
sometimes, but
see it.
no.
It's
Yeah, it's
nice.
nice.
Whoa, good job, Andrea. Woo.
here I just
Yeah,
sent it.
Mallow High School. And then I also went on Monday. Karen, I don't know that you were there.
No, because it has to do with my. Oh, look at the pumpkins. I just gave a report to Hannah that I didn't have pumpkin phobia, but I had I had to deal with my contractor. But look at that.
So, yeah, that was my
Ooh.
first MS Focus Monday class. So, but yeah,
Nice.
no, the skull was super duper fun.
All
And
right. We like the teeth. Doesn't look like your skull needs a dentist.
Well, that was probably a cheat. Like we cheated. She gave us the skulls, right? Or did you draw your own skull?
no, I drew my own.
Wow, I didn't. I don't know why
Yeah.
it's not showing up on the camera. Oh, that's why.
Oh, there,
Oh,
there
Oh,
you
yellow
go.
teeth.
nice.
Yellow teeth, you know.
Well,
That
I
skull never cleaned its teeth, did it?
well, let me tell you though, most skulls are like more like Andrea's, and they're pretty with flowers. And I wrote, even when I write, I go eye-hand coordination. I got a capital I. My eye-hand coordination was not functioning. It wasn't working, and I wanted to give up because I couldn't do vines and I couldn't do leaves. But like I said last time, and I actually was at a online music camp, and before my little performance, I shared because the theme of the song share was hands, and it said, you can put your hands on, whatever, hands down. It was just like hands. And then they said, hands are like sometimes a message to your soul, like you might do something with your hand. So I shared this and my story about MS and my amazing MS instructor from AnCan. So I just decided that I have to love my paintings. So I can't do vines. So I can't do leaves. So I can't walk anymore. So I can't dance anymore. I can just make this commitment to the color and the beauty, and then I sang. And then I did my little singing thing, and somebody said, "Oh, I love what you said last night." I go, "What did I say?" As if I'd remember. And so it was an
That's a good
inspiration about,
analogy, Karen.
what?
That was a good analogy.
Well, I
Where
just said I
you can't
refuse to
do,
not
you
love my.
can't, yeah, that you figure out a way to modify it and make it work for you and be okay with it and not beat yourself up on it. I love that.
But I just said also I refuse to not love my paintings, and I refuse to not love my life. And I did a big heavy duty on disability. It's a bunch of geriatrics, and they're like, "Why don't you type in it?" So I got really firm with like, "Look, I can't. I." Or somebody's like messing. I'm about to perform. They're going, "Did you put your thing on?" I go, "Look, I'm not going to remember my song. Don't mess with me." And I've because I feel much frailer and I'm being much more vocal and much more demanding about this is what disability looks like. And you don't know. You don't know, but you got to be more sensitive. So that was kind of
And
powerful
how is
too.
that working for you, Karen, with you being more vocal? Are you getting more
It's
results?
it's
Are you getting
working. It's working, but I have to say today I wasn't being vocal. I was at CVS, and this woman came around to my walker and started to put things in my bag, and it's like a pretty bag. And I said, "Oh, I don't want it in that bag." And she goes, "That's okay. We're here to help." And then she charged me for a plastic bag. I said, "Did you charge me? I don't really need that." She goes, "Okay, you don't have to do that. We're here to help you." And I'm like, I look that fucked up. That we're here to help you. Oh, because then after my doctor, I went to the grocery outlet and they didn't have baskets. And I said to this guy, he goes, "You can get a cart." And I said, "Well, how am I going to do a cart and a walker?" He goes, "Well, you can put it in there." I go, "Easy for you to say." And then besides, then I got to push a cart, not my walker. So he said, "Well, you can use a box." So he got a box for me. And then he found me in the store and he goes, "Here, we only have 4 baskets. Here's your basket." So
I love that, Karen. I love that you were vocal on your needs and you got what you needed. And hopefully the next time you're in there, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that gal's back. Let me go get that basket for her." And you were like
well, it's
very like,
also,
"No, a cart's not gonna work for me. How am I gonna push 2 of these
but I'm
things along?"
And I think I told you all that I needed a COVID vaccine and Kaiser wasn't covering it. And I pushed on that. I don't remember if I told you last time, but I really pushed on that. I called the hotline and I insisted. And then I saw my doctor today. I said, "I hope they told you." I didn't want anybody to contact my doctor. I just said it's unacceptable. I'm immunocompromised. I'm not going to talk to a clerk about, do you have medical training? I'm not going to do that. And I got the nurse and you just I just keep pushing and advocating, and everyone should do that, as painful as it is.
I second that. You can't. People don't know how to help you if you don't explicitly spell it out what you need, like the whole cart versus a basket. You made it very apparent what you needed, and they figured it out for you. They figured it out.
The box helped too, the box that he got for me, but
You made them get creative, and I love that. I love that. People can get creative and figure out ways, solutions to help you out. I love that. Absolutely love that.
And we can be creative.
Hmm. And next time,
Well,
if they're like, we don't have baskets, like, you got a box? Come on, you got stuff in here. You got to have a box somewhere.
now that I know how to use the camera, there is
Ah,
Karen in her virgin run out the door. I had a big like drop down. It was like scary. So there I was out the door because I sent this to Hannah to tell her why I didn't go to her Monday class. And it gets even better because I didn't have they didn't do a border yet, or he was going to do these slots and I didn't like it. And then online on my camp, I have a friend from Wales. I said, please, would you come out to my, can I take you on my deck? Because I don't like what he's going to do. I need technical assistance. Like what would look good? And then and then at Sunday at 9 o'clock at night, I had to call my contractor in Spanish and say, I hate to bother you. It even looks good in the rain.
that
So
looks like
it's still,
a deck that needs to get danced on. I just see a future video of me and Karen dancing on her deck.
I
I just
can't
see
wait to
this.
see it.
Wouldn't that be fun? That'd be so much
Yes.
fun.
to be able to do that, that would be fun.
That would
And
be fun.
then,
Or you can sit on your walker and you can dance sitting down if you don't have to be standing up. And I'll
so
do my
here's my angel. I mean, the guy was working next door on a house, Rudy, and he's just so delightful. He worked on the house for 3 months. So today he flew to Houston to meet his 89-year-old mother who was coming from Guatemala for a visit. So the deck isn't completely finished, but my friend in Wales, Andrew, I got confused because I heard from Richard Davis and he's Andrew Richards. And I'm like, wait, who's writing? Who the heck is who? So he said, well, I see on your garage that you have that like X, you have this pattern. Why don't you do that? So they spent like a few hours yesterday putting in a big X and a small X, and we came up with a small X. So it's not all done, but this contractor is just he's so precious. I've made him dinner. I mean, I made him lunch, and so the lift is messed up. So that lift did get delivered, but it was messed up, and then he was busy working, and I was like, I have to get him on my deck because he was not going to be back for a month, and I wrote to the company about the guy who delivered it and how messed up it was. Well, first I just said there was a problem. So he goes, and then I wrote about how messed up the delivery guy was. So he said, I'll send my best guy out. So that guy came out on Friday, and I just decided I'm going to take a break. I'm not calling Saturday, Sunday, Monday afternoon. I got the owner of the company, Mr. Kraus, Rick, and we bonded around Yom Kippur because everyone I talked to is Latino. But then one day I go, who is this? He goes, it's Lloyd, like 2 weeks ago. And I said, it's been taking 3 months. Since July, I've been trying to get a lift. The MS Society paid for it. They got funding for the rest of it. So it's like, I can't pull out now. I'm 3 months with 3 different lifts that didn't work. And then this fakakta lift doesn't work. And I really had to learn to like calm myself down, talk nicely, call him up, give him the facts, say what has. So it's been a real lesson. So he said, Karen, I'm so sorry. There's been problems. I said, I realize it's been a lesson in patience. And I said something about the high holidays, and then he started talking about Yom Kippur. So that was a couple of weeks ago. Then I called Monday because I usually talk to the sales guy. And then Lloyd, I guess he goes, oh, Karen, is that you? He goes, okay, how about this? Why don't we go to the original deal? What's the original deal? That you find me a lift for 31 something plus tax plus whatever, comes to almost 4. Because I was afraid he was going to go. And he goes, and then we got cut off. So he sent me an email. He goes, okay, give me 2 weeks. I'm going to find a good lift for you and we'll have it delivered. And I'm like, it's okay. The one I have works. It's just makes noise and stuff like that. But my deck.
Laura, did you have a question?
Oh, I've been trying to find out when the art class is. I was on the website and I just couldn't find like an active link to it or how to register for it.
Okay, I'll tell you how to get to the active link. Go to our website and under resources at the top, not exactly intuitive, I'm sorry, but under
It's okay.
resources at the top, it will say art classes and art gallery. and
Got
there
you.
you'll find it. And the art classes, I think always, and the ladies will correct me, I think it's the third Thursday of each month.
Great.
Sounds
Thank
right.
you so much. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay,
They're
and you can
really
sign up. You can sign up for a reminder for the art classes. So if you go to contact us, you can add the art class to what you're already signed up for,
Perfect. Thank you.
and
and you'll get a
and
reminder.
Hannah is like an actual art teacher. She went to college to teach art. It's not just someone that, does art well. She legit learned how to do this. That
She's
was her job.
amazing. She's
So
And not
it
amazing.
is
only that,
amazing. And
it's
she teaches
amazing. Oh
us
wait, I
people
do
like
art
me
with
that
my left.
aren't good artists. She's very good with us. So highly recommend.
Thank you.
I got kicked out of, so I don't know if it was my Samsung or my whatever. But not only that, Laura, I never made art in my life. I never made visual art in my life. I have no interest in doing it. I only do it at the class. My right hand is partially paralyzed. I do it with my left
Mm.
hand. So my inner child is kind of like, I guess, like, whatever. I mean, we don't even know how to use either hand, but it's so therapeutic. So I did write to her today, just thank her because that that I could share it. I said, you're amazing. It's not just that, oh,
Aw.
I'm doing this thing, but that I could share it on an international music platform with people to say, I've done this art and it's changed that it that other people say, wow, that you can learn to do new things, that you can adapt. And another thing about Hunt, she's not just a trained artist. She told me she always wanted to be an art teacher, that and she has MS, and that's how she got, she said she always wanted to be an art teacher, unlike other people who teach something because they don't want to do it.
And she's really
Oh,
good.
that's
Ask her
beautiful.
any question. She's super. You'll love her. You'll absolutely love her, and you'll be like, I got to go back for more. So check her out in the art classes. They are amazing, and I'm so glad that we have the opportunity to have those sponsored by AnCan. We do need to get to Christy tonight. So Christy, are you ready to share?
Yeah, hold on. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I just recently, it's been really taking its toll on me. I've been struggling with depression. Um, I spoke with my neurologist, and she's actually changed my antidepressants. So I went from Prozac to now I'm on uh, Cymbalta. Um, I don't know if I necessarily feel a change with going to Cymbalta versus Prozac. But yeah, I just had a lot of things kind of hit me, and I am struggling really bad with my depression. And um, I have a lot of things like the wheelchair. Like recently, I have gotten a pressure sore, and so I'm having to do weekly wound care visits. Um, and then before that, I was going weekly because I had uh, somehow gotten a scrape or something on my shin on my bad leg. I don't walk, so I don't know how it happened. I haven't bumped it on anything, but it had. I ended up getting MRSA with that, so I had to go to wound care so that they could treat the MRSA. Um, so all these things are like hitting me, and I just feel like it's never ending. And so my depression has heightened, and I don't know. I'm trying to find the silver lining because I always do at some point, but it's just like one thing after another. Just when I think everything's going to be okay, something else pops up, and I'm just over it. I really am. So I'm just trying to navigate through that, and it's really taking a toll with Steve and I because he doesn't. quite understand, and I'm like getting mad at him and taking things out on him. It's not his fault, but he just happens to be the closest person next to me. When 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 shit arrives, and I'm like, I take it out on him. It's not fair, but it just I just do that, and I don't think that's fair. And I'm always the one that's apologizing because I know it's not his fault. I know it's all within me and what's going on with me and what I'm dealing with. So I don't know. It's just hard. I don't know if anybody else is on Cymbalta and if they've had any good reaction or good outcome with being on Cymbalta. So
I'm on Cymbalta, but I've had kind of gone up and down with it. Um, they thought I was depressed. It was really pseudobulbar affect, which Cymbalta does help. So I'm down now on a very low dose of Cymbalta for that. So it's a different issue.
yeah, I'm on
When
40 milligrams. I don't know if that's low or average
I
or
was I was taking 60 milligrams, and I made me feel very flat.
mhm,
But again, I was misdiagnosed, right? So, it wasn't depression. I just couldn't stop crying. Um, I'm down to 20 milligrams now. So, but once you go on it, you don't just stop it. And it's just like other antidepressants. It takes a while to kick in. But if you come off it, make sure you come off it under your doctor's supervision.
right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when I started taking it, I had to um uh I'm losing my words. I had to titrate up on the Cymbalta, but only in half dose, and then I had to um go down on the Prozac half dose. So it's a half Prozac, half Cymbalta for 1 week, and then the following week I was doing every other day um the Prozac, and then the days that I wasn't doing Prozac, I was doing Cymbalta. So I'm used to that. So I know a lot of times you just don't take yourself off medications, especially like those type of medications. You just
So
don't
how
trust
long
me.
have you been taking the Cymbalta, and are you taking only Cymbalta at this point?
Yeah, I'm on Cymbalta only. Um, I've been on it for about a month now, I would say, or close to a month. I don't know. Because I went to my doctor's appointment the beginning of this month, so it's been almost a month. So it'll be like beginning of November will be a month.
So Kim, correct me, but isn't it about a 6 months, but they want you to be on it to really get it in your bloodstream? Did I say months? I meant weeks.
Well, usually like 6 to 8 weeks. They usually say at least give it 2 weeks to actually feel an effect. Um, and these types of drugs, you can use it for depression and anxiety. Anxiety, you go super slow. Depression, you go a little bit quicker. But since she was already on Prozac, I liked it how they tapered and titrated you up. That was really smart.
Yeah.
And I want to first say, I just want to commend you for saying, hey, I'm having a problem, and you went to your doctor. That was like 1000% what you should have done. I really love the fact that you're like, I'm really struggling here. I know I'm already being treated, but this is not enough. And I just love that you went to your house practice. This is what we're talking about, Laura, where you're like, hey, things aren't going well, and you just go and you talk to them and get it all tweaked out. So I'm glad that they're trying. So Prozac's an SSRI. This one is an SNRI. So instead of just serotonin, it's also I can't say it because I'm too tired. Norepinephrine. You guys know. The N.
Norepinephrine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
Norepinephrine.
Thank you. Whoever said it correctly, thank you very much. Yes. This time of night, I can't
That's
pronounce the
Karen.
word. Good job, Karen. So, yeah, but Rick wanted to say something here. What did you want to say?
Yeah, so I have a little experience on this one, Christy, my own experience. But it's different to yours in that they put me when I decided or when I was convinced, because I never really decided, but somebody lent on me and I went to get medication. They first of all put me on Paxil, which is an SSRI very similar to Prozac. And that made me more suicidal. I was
Oh,
I was really desperate. That was the worst. I thought I felt bad before, but when I took that Paxil, boy, was it bad. So I stopped taking it after about 2 or 3 weeks. And then I had to clear it out my system. And then they put me on an SNRI, like Cymbalta, which I'm still on 20 years later. And that was Effexor, venlafaxine. And I think Cymbalta is probably a better drug because it's more recent. But I've been playing around with that dose, with my Effexor dose, and I've gone from taking a regular pill to an extended release pill, which is which has also been really good for me. So now I take um, I take 100. I take 337.5. So it's like 102.5 or whatever it is, um, every day, all at the same time, and that keeps me pretty balanced. Um, but I've also learned that I can adjust that, and if I'm feeling really crummy, I could take more. But so I had a really I couldn't tolerate the SSRI2, and I had a really good response to the SNRI. And
Okay.
if I miss a day, I mean, sometimes I'll get up in the morning and forget to take my pills, and by the middle of the afternoon, I feel really rubbish, and I think, oh my God, I forgot to take my pills. And then I run in and I take my pills, and then I'm fine. But I need
Okay.
it. I do need it. The other thing
Well,
is, well, I just tell you one other thing because it may be pertinent to you, is that when I was on hormone deprivation and androgen deprivation therapy, so when I had no testosterone in my body for the treatment of my cancer,
right.
um, I upped the dose because I went back to my GP, and I said, I'm really feeling really that the black dog keeps visiting. And he said, well, that's probably related to the ADT, and try doubling the dose, which I did. And that helped me a lot. And I would double the dose until I felt okay. Then I'd reduce it. So I was just sort of going up and down around that dose. But my point is that other medications that you're on can impact your mental state. So, and I don't know what you're on, and I don't know I do know the prostate cancer drugs really well, but it might have an impact.
Right. And I did discuss that with my doctor. I don't know. And uh apparently um my other medications that I'm on do not interfere with the Cymbalta. So yeah, because that's always my first question anytime they're giving me a new medication. Um, so I'm thankful now. I'm only down only down to 4 types of medication. And then I have the pump. So that has really like helped as far because there's times when I'm like, I can't take another damn pill. I'm over this. I'm so over this, you know. Um, but I know I have to take them. But at the same time, I'm over it. I'm done. Like, I don't want to take anymore.
Yep.
But you know, it. I'm just that's. I'm hopeful that I don't have to get on any other pills. The only thing that's been changing for me lately is like the dosages on on my medications. My baclofen pump, I have a device now that allows me to adjust the baclofen intake, which has helped. Um, but for the most part, I I was more concerned about Cymbalta and how if anybody was on it and if it what kind of effect it has played on them, if any. So I mean,
I
I'm
tolerated it
hopeful that
very well. Yeah, I didn't have that many problems with it.
that's good because I've had problems with antidepressants before and they've totally like ugh, horrible. Like Zoloft, I had the worst side effects with Zoloft,
Oh, well,
and I normally
yeah, Wellbutrin was awful, god awful. Yeah.
yeah. So like
I, I think
the
I think you
antidepressant,
just
I'm
have to
more
you
concerned
have to
about.
find what works for you. I mean, I'm sort of I don't want to say surprised, but um, I would dig in a little more just to make sure what antidepressants are available if you're on the baclofen, because the baclofen must have. I mean, it's a painkiller, so I would think it has some impact. And so I just would really want to make sure that the baclofen has no impact, and just double check that. Because
Right.
I just wonder, it could be that the baclofen means that you need either a higher or a lower dose of the SNRI. I don't know. Um, I'll
Um.
I'll check with. I've got to write it down, but I'll check with somebody who will know. But I think you should check yourself and just make
Yeah,
sure.
and I am a frequent. I like. I don't want to say flyer, but I am. I have a portal that goes directly to my neurologist, and so I'm frequently on the portal, like asking questions and trying to get answers and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll definitely check with double check with her
Yeah,
again.
double check, and you can also, there are loads of websites which I know Miss Kim knows about, where you can check side effects. So you could probably put in side effects for baclofen and whatever the generic name is for Cymbalta, I forget, and see if
Um,
Duloxetine.
duloxetine. Like I
right,
know it. Duloxetine is like right there. Um,
yep, and
but
just
yeah,
see if anything comes up.
yeah, definitely. I will look into that for sure. And also, I'll check with my neurologist again just to make sure. Um,
Yeah.
And
And you can ask
again,
the pharmacist too. The pharmacist might know better than your neurologist what drugs are going to interact with each other.
And I
well,
would
and
even
the thing is,
say a thing that you could do because you've had problems with other medication in the past that,
mhm,
affect your brain. And the good news is there's lots of drugs out there. They keep bringing a bunch of drugs, so you're not
Right,
like, you know, Prozac or
right.
nothing. But I would almost, since you're really struggling with depression and you've had lots of issues with previous medications, I would not, I would almost recommend you to go to a psychiatrist because that is their expertise.
Yes,
That
and
is their medication.
I
So,
do see one weekly.
but is that a
So
psychiatrist or a counselor?
yeah, no, she's a psychiatrist. So I'll ask
Okay, so
her.
she can prescribe meds for you.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I would talk to her
Um,
then because she would be
yes,
an excellent
definitely.
resource because
Yes,
a general practitioner only can do so much knowledge in those
right,
drugs.
right,
And if
right,
you're
right,
having
right.
side effects, that person could potentially steer you. And so I would recommend having switching the
Great
care for
suggestion.
those to her.
Yeah,
The other
well, and
thing,
better than the neurologist, even I would say. And that's who I was going to check with a psychiatrist for you.
yeah, and like I said, I actually have my weekly appointment tomorrow, so I'll ask her.
to bring it up,
So
see if we can get you figured out on what you're comfortable in and sensitivities. Now, I was on Cymbalta at one point in my life. They originally put me on it to help with they were thinking it was depression, but also with the numbness and stuff in my foot. So it was like a two for one.
right,
And it did help with the sensations and it probably helped the depression, but my libido died. I tell
Yes,
people I was essentially chemically
right.
castrated. I had no
Yes,
what, and for
yeah.
me to get off of it, we went slow. We did like a 2-month titration taper down, and I
hmm,
still like it took 5 months after I stopped the taper to like recover, and I was in massive pain because it just kind of unmasked everything for me. But I'm very
right,
sensitive to those types of drugs.
Yeah.
I'm sensitive to hormones too. I'm just a sensitive kind of gal, and that's how we are. But
Yes.
when I was
We
actually
know.
on it, but I got to a point where if I have a doctor say, "Hey, I want you to get on these drugs," they're gonna have to do a damn bunch of convincing me because my experiences, even though I went to my PCP, I'm like, I want to get off of this, but we need to go as slow as possible. And every time we just did a little thing every 2 weeks, it still was hell on wheels
So,
for me personally. But that doesn't mean
so
it's gonna be like
Kim,
that for you.
I got to tell you a story along those lines. I know someone who was on Venlafax in another SNRI and was on the same um, extended release, and it killed her libido as well. And what she was doing was she would literally empty all the beads from the extended release and count the bloody beads. And she would reduce by a number of those beads. I mean, really, it was crazy. It was crazy because they come in capsules, and if you break open the
mhm,
capsule, there's all these tiny little
Depending on
beads
what it
in there.
is, yeah. Depending on what it is, yeah.
And
But
she was counting the beads to try and find the right balance. Now, it's never impacted my libido, but maybe it affects women differently to how it affects men. I don't know, but it's not been an issue. But I do know that the SNRIs may have that impact. May do.
what Dr. Rachel Rubin says, our beloved urologist slash sexual health expert says, is anything that any medication that affects the brain can affect your libido. So
Okay.
that's what
It
she
has
said.
made being a single woman all these years much more bearable. Not just kidding.
But it's just one of potential side effects. The other questions I was going to ask you, Christy, on your depression is for me, this time of year is rough for me because of the lack of sunlight. So I am addicted to my sun lamp. Do you have one of those?
no, no,
But
I
Mm,
isn't
don't.
it
I have one
sunny
of
in isn't it sunny in Colorado anyway a lot?
She's indoors. She's
Yeah,
not going to enjoy it.
well, I do go outside. Um, I do go out on my deck, or sometimes I'll go to the front of the house and I'll talk with neighbors. I don't just I am recluse when I have bad days, but when I'm not having a bad day, I try to make the most of it. So, um,
I,
and
I,
my bad days are geared towards any symptoms that I'm having, because I am having a lot more nerve pain in my feet. So they've upped my pregabalin. And then she thought the Cymbalta would be good because, like with you, Kim, it also helps with nerve pain, or stuff like that. But that that stuff I think is my pain with my nerve. I think is more geared towards my lymphedema, and we're starting to get my lymphedema under control. I got my lymphedema pumps, so I've been doing those. So I don't know if that's what's causing the nerve pain, because the swelling is really starting to go down a lot. I don't know, but it's like I said, it's like one thing after another, and it's very emotionally taxing on me. So um, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard on me right now. And then top it off, I got a major sinus infection that, you know, it turned into a horrific ear infection, which I hadn't had since I was a child. So, and now I'm like half deaf because my ear hasn't, well, it's still plugged from the ear infection. So now I have to get an appointment with an ENT to make sure I don't have like earwax impacted. That's what's causing, like, because what it feels like to me is like, when you go swimming and you get water in your ear, and then you have to like jerk it out of your ear to clear it out. Well, that's like permanent for me right now, and it's super frustrating. I can't hear stuff. I can't, when my husband talks to me, I can't hear him. When other people are talking and they're like trying to be discreet, I can't hear them. So it's just a lot of changes that's causing my depression, you know. So
Christy, you've got a lot going on for you. Like, I just want to acknowledge all that you're kind of dealing with. And it's no wonder that you're struggling a bit. But I just wanted to encourage you. You've also like only been on there a month, and it might still take some time to really have a positive effect for you. So hopefully that will come soon for you. I've got my fingers crossed for you.
me too. Thank you, Carmen. Me as well. I definitely am hoping that I can turn a page and it'll be a good page.
And so
So
too, that doesn't help, especially with mood stuff, and then going into this season of being darker and yeah.
does
yeah,
And
anyone
if
else
and
use
anybody,
the sun lamps
and
at all? Am I the only one that's addicted to sun lamps in the fall and winter? Okay.
I don't even know what a sun lamp is. Sorry.
Oh, girl, so it's like a really bright light box. It's
Hey, and
super
before you
Okay.
bright.
get into that too much, Kim, I'm getting really tired. I gotta go. So thank you all and good night.
Good
Good
night,
night,
Andrew.
No
Andrea. It's good
problem.
seeing you.
Marlo looked like he was trying to say something before, just before you jump into the light box.
No,
Oh,
I
go
was
ahead,
falling
Marlo.
asleep. I was falling
No?
asleep too.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
it's late for him time. Well, I'll keep going, but before I keep going, I just want to say that we will meet again in 3 weeks, November 14th. And then if you wanted to go to the Medicare thing that Rick was talking about, that is this coming Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 8 to 9:30. So anyone that needs to drop off, drop off. Have a great night, and we'll
You
hopefully see
guys.
you in 3
Bye.
weeks.
Hello. I was before you get into the light box, real quick. Rick, you're close to Phoenix, right?
I'm 2 hours, 2.5 hours south of Phoenix.
So you're closer to Tucson?
I'm south of Tucson even.
Oh
I'm
wow.
I'm I'm between Tucson and the border. I'm 20 minutes from the border.
Oh. No, I was just gonna say because it would be um great because I'm going down to Phoenix. My mom lives down there now.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I'm going down to Phoenix for Thanksgiving, and we have family in Tucson as well. So I'll be down in Tucson.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah,
so
maybe
I
we
was
could
just
meet when you're in Tucson. I'm 45 minutes from downtown, 40 minutes from downtown Tucson, but an hour from the
okay.
north side. It depends where you are, but yeah, I'm RD. I'll put it in the chat window.
Oh,
RD, you
your email?
yeah,
I
you
have
have it.
I have it.
You have, yeah, let me know.
Y-
Yeah, no, it'd be lovely to,
Yeah.
it would be lovely to see you if you're down this way. I am in a
Right.
little town that your family will know called Tubac.
Okay.
Why will
Uh,
they know that?
Because it's because it's well known in the area, and it has a big arts festival, and it was originally it's sort of an artist town. Not that that matters to
okay.
me, but there's lots of galleries here and stuff like that, and people tend to come visit Tubac. People like to come down to visit Tubac, so
Okay.
that's
I'll
why
have
they
to
would
ask
know it.
my cousin Angela. She's in Tucson. So I'll just
She'll
ask
say,
her, hey, do you know Tubac?
she'll say,
I'm
"Oh
sure.
yeah, I know Tubac, I know Tubac,
Yeah.
Tubac."
Okay.
That's Oh well, that's
But yeah.
lovely, guys. I'm gonna drop off because I've been going since I don't know, 5 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Mountain, 3 o'clock Arizona time, and I need a break. But I want you guys to stay on and talk about sun lamps because it's very important. If you have that, I don't mind the dark, but if you do have it, it's really important. Good night,
But
everyone.
Good
I
night,
think
Rick.
color. Wait, Rick, before you go,
Yes, yes,
I
ma'am.
found I found the video of me elevating myself, getting elevated for the first time.
With your
Oh
lift.
man. Well,
Oh,
okay,
it
here,
went
wait,
out. Oh.
wait, it's coming.
Okay. Did you feel
Oh,
like you were going?
nice.
Did you feel like you were going up in the world?
That's the first time I was able to do that.
All
That's
right.
awesome.
Okay. Okay.
And you
God
don't
bless
see
you.
all the amazing cement that was broken. But I'm just kind of disappointed that
Yeah.
nobody, but that lift's going to be replaced. But I'm just disappointed that nobody noticed the
Oh,
hair.
I
I know
noticed a new
the hair.
haircut. I know, but
Huh?
it's not new. It's where it was about 3 months ago when you first did it, and then it got longer and longer.
I know. And so yesterday was that video. That was the first time I'm walking up to my, because I had this big drop off of steps and I had to hang on to get down the steps. So that's a big deal.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
I
Rick.
think we lost him.
All right, shut up.
Oh,
Oh,
there she is.
gotta choose an organizer before I go. Miss Kim's an organizer. It says choose an organizer before I go. I thought Miss Kim was an organizer.
She was having trouble
Uh,
with.
Ah,
yeah, my
Oh,
internet.
she is an
I
organizer.
lost
All right.
I lost
I'm.
my
Let me.
internet. So
Okay, that's probably why.
okay, my
okay.
internet's gotten flaky the last 10 minutes. I apologize.
No problem. I was having poor connection issues. I couldn't. like piece together conversations. That's why I had to log out completely. I restarted my computer and jumped back in. Mhm.
But I just want to let you know on the sun lamp for me is kind of like me getting out of my pajamas every morning. It helps like register in my brain that I'm starting my day. And I start that bad boy up when I wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I do like a 30-minute the artist way. I do, they call it morning pages, or you do like 3 to 4
Mhm.
pages every day. So I do that, and I have it blasting on me, and I'm eating breakfast, I have it blasting on me, and then if I'm inside, I have it on me, and I do it during the morning, early afternoon potentially, and that really helps me have some energy and just feel like I'm doing way better. I'm very sensitive to sunlight though. I don't know if you've noticed it with yourself, but I'm super sensitive to the lack of sunlight. I will start freaking out at the end of August. 6 weeks
I,
before
I,
the equinox, I
I,
will start freaking out.
I'm like that too. I mean, I looked into living in like Pacific Northwest, and I went in the summer when, the sun is out, and then I'd go somewhere and the clouds would come and I would immediately be like, oh my God. But I just looked up, are you in the so-called Metro Denver
Yeah,
region? So I
yeah.
looked it up. I remember because I need sun. So, I looked at like, where could I live in the United States? And it said that it has mild temperatures and nearly 300 days of annual sunshine.
We have, and the funny thing is that Colorado is known to have more sunshine than Florida, the Sunshine State.
Yeah, that's what I
You have
heard.
less cloudy days. That's cool.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
know
Kim,
that
is the
they
light
did.
box, is it hot? Like, does it throw heat?
No,
Um,
no, no, it just gets warm in the back just because, the amount of power, but
Power.
it doesn't
Yeah.
specifically generate
Yeah.
heat. It's not
Okay.
supposed to warm you up at
it's just
all.
a UV. It just
No,
generates
it's
the
just a super
UV.
bright light. It's just a
Oh,
super bright
okay.
light. And when you first start using it, you're supposed to use it like, you're not supposed to look directly at it. And they say like 15 minutes a day. 'Cause you can get like a little headache, but you're not used to it. But I can use it all day long, and it doesn't. I wouldn't do it in the after like I wouldn't do it after 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon because that's time for me to like settle it down.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
So do you just have it in the
Yeah.
same room that you're in then, or what do you
yeah,
do?
I set it on my desk. I set it on the table when I eat. I'll have it next to me. Like if I'm sitting on the chair, I'll just sit it on the table next to me, and I'll just have it on, and
Mm.
just having it there. I have one at the office too, so I have it when I turn it on. It's next to my monitor, and it just helps me out. And I just saw a thing that said Kim has left, which is interesting. So
Yeah, I'll have to look into one of those. I'm
Yeah,
it
sure
helps
it's
that's,
find
me.
them on
It may
can
on
I
not, the
stand,
Amazon.
sunlight doesn't
I
affect
stand,
you that much. It may
but I
not be.
stand corrected. I Googled it. The Denver Post said 300 days of sun in Colorado. It turns out it's a myth, and we're just as shocked as you. Last year, Denver saw just 103 sunny days. The rest were partly mostly cloudy. So far this year, that was in 2021. We only had 54 clear days as of Friday in August. So it's a myth.
Well, this year was just weird with weather. I think we had like we didn't really have a full summer because we were daily getting rained on, and it was
Oh, you
just
had all the rain, huh?
yeah, it was
Oh, we're going
So
through
a
a
light,
drought
miserable.
and you had the rain.
so a light box may help. I mean, for me, I have to be in the sun, and I haven't. And so now I can just roll outside my deck and
Yeah.
be in the sun because I haven't, I sometimes spend days in the house and I see the sun, but it doesn't see me. So it's probably not a bad idea to think about.
No matter.
When I'm not having a bad day, I go out on my deck and I'll sit out there. But I also have to be very aware that I don't get overheated because that's happened a couple times, and Steve has to come get me because I can't move when I get overheated, and I'm sitting in the shade.
Do
Sometimes
you
I'll
have
move
like a
over to the
portable
side.
fan or anything to help cool you down when you're out
Hmm.
there? Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, but it still doesn't. It's like it's so quick. I get overheated like that, but
I
it takes
understand.
forever
One minute you're
to cool
fine, you're
down.
cold, and the next minute you're overheated.
Yeah,
Can I
I don't
ask
make
other
sense.
people about that? I don't tend to get overheated, but and I think even the at least the neurological nurse, somebody said I don't think it's related, but I get dehydrated. It's been when we were in COVID lockdown, I got really dehydrated and I fainted. And now it happens to me quite a bit. I don't faint, but it's this quick. You know, if it was like a hot day and I walked into
Hmm.
CVS and it's air conditioned, I just get nausea and I feel so sick. And now I know I drink water. I mean, I don't think it's the same as the MS heat that you get, but I'm just amazed. It's so quick. I might be standing outside talking to someone for a few minutes, and then it's so quick, and I know I'm going to crash. So I don't know about the water thing, if that helps at all. But does anybody else get hot like that? I mean, it's just so it's frightening because I know I'm gonna. Since I did pass out once, I just. But it comes on so quickly. But it doesn't come out of the blue. It comes out of the heat.
I mean, I'm going through perimenopause, so I get the best of both.
But yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't know nothing.
I'm the chick that opens up the sunroof in my car when it's the mid 30s
Well,
outside.
and like Steve and I have been kind of battling because he's literally a walking, breathing furnace, and he always wants. I'm freezing all the time,
I'm freezing all
so
the time. I'm always cold.
yeah, no matter what. I mean, this summer I have worn my hoodie everywhere, no matter the temperature, because I'm so cold all the time. It's just a weird thing. This is the first summer that I've been cold, but I have, yeah, I've got one of those. I
I
have,
used to wear my winter hat all summer long inside. It'd
yeah.
be so cold.
Well, I remember that when I started, you were always wearing
Mhm.
your beanie.
I have to sleep with. I have to put my electric. I have an electric blanket on. I don't sleep with it, but I can't fall asleep. I get into bed and I put it on. I mean, there maybe were just a couple of days that I didn't do it, and well, I don't even have the house cleaner come anymore because she doesn't do that much. But I just, I think she just. Why would you have an electric blanket? She doesn't ask me. It's like I'm always cold. I have even like leg. I sleep in I never used to, and I never used to. I always wore nightgowns, so I never had my legs covered, and now I can't not. But sometimes it's so cold, especially in my more paralyzed side, that I have leg warmers from my dancing days, and I'm still like so cold I can't fall asleep. And I don't like waking
Yeah,
up with the heat electric blanket, so usually I get up to go to the bathroom and then I'm like, okay, turn it off. But I'm cold. Even my contractor, my lovely contractor, I don't know, he put his hand on me and he goes, "You're so cold." And that was like when it was 75 degrees.
and I'm the opposite. Like my, if you touch me, my temperature doesn't reflect my coldness. Um, but it's literally sometimes I am so cold it's down to the bone, and like I'm like shivering and I can't control it. And before, when I was ambulatory, I just popped in a quick shower for like 5 minutes, to warm up, and I'd be fine. But I can't do that now because literally it takes me 5 minutes just to, get ready for this, like get undressed, get, everything. And then I'm undressed, I'm freezing, and it's like it's a battle that I can't win right now. It's horrible. And
Do you drink
so
hot liquids at all, Christy?
I do. I have I drink teas, but they don't help. So it's so hard. It's really hard.
Heating pads? Do you use heating pads?
yeah, I have a heating pad. I have a heating pad. I have an electric blanket. I have a weighted blanket just
Do you have your
to
own
help the
little
warmth.
what am I totally blanking on the name? The space heater. Do you have your own little personal space heater?
I did, but it broke, and even when I did have it, I got yelled at by Steve that he was too hot. So because if I had it my way, I would have it on full blast all the time, and with the door shut, make the room comfortable. Um, but I can't because you know he lives here too. He's but it's gotten to the point like right now it's starting to really get cold. He's got the window open, and then he has to have the fan on, the ceiling fan on, and I'm sitting here just like shivering. And he's like, "Well, once I fall asleep, you turn the fan off." I'm like, that doesn't help me." I was like,
Well,
so I
Christy, Christy, I mean, I know because my mobility is keeps, if you're sitting around all day, which is what I do, I'm in bed like 12, 14 hours a day, and then I'm up for about 3 or 4, and then I sit down. Like right now, I sat down. I came home and I sat down, and I could sit in this chair for another 3 hours and not move. So, like, yeah, how's your body going to get warm? I mean, some of it is just, it sucks. I think that's
well,
part of
yeah,
it.
and I think a lot of it is because I am in the wheelchair and I'm not moving around as much as I used to. And then also on top of that, the lymphedema in my legs, it's like I think it it doesn't register hot or cold. My legs are always cold. Always.
My
I mean,
feet
they're
are freezing
freezing.
right now. I mean, I looked up whatever
Yeah,
the
mine too.
temperature, but my feet are freezing and I have on socks. But here's another advocacy Miss Broder here does, Miss Karen does with advocacy because well, it's hard for me to get into the pool, but I'm just more and more labeling what's going on with me and thermoregulation. I mean, at least to have a word instead of going, I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm hot, I feel that. I just very authoritatively say, well, there's also issues with thermoregulation. It just feels
Well,
it feels a lot better to say that because then people have to think what that means. I'm not even
right.
sure I know what it means.
You try to wear long underwear underneath your clothes for your legs since your legs are especially colder.
I don't have any long underwear. So no, I have not tried that. But usually I
Obviously a
just
looser
keep,
pair with the lymphedema, but
yeah. But usually I can just leave a blanket over my legs and it helps. Um, yeah, so that's about all I can do is just throw a blanket over and it helps. It keeps me warm until I have to like obviously remove it so I can go to the bathroom or something like that. And I'm like, I hate you. I don't. It's super. It's when I get cold, I can't move, and Steve doesn't understand that. I just can't move. I feel like I'm um what's the word I'm looking for? Like it just
Stiff.
debilitates me to the point where I can't move because literally my body, like my brain is like, move, you need to move, but the rest of my body is like, no, you're not moving because you're cold. So,
so it sounds like you get at both ends, where if you're too cold or you're too warm, it really affects your mobility. So
right,
you need to be
Thermoregulation.
so you need to be able to regulate your temperature and be able to change it quite rapidly to
right,
to um, to keep you in your sweet point range.
yeah, and it's more difficult just because I am in the wheelchair,
Mhm.
you know? So getting like blood flow to warm me up, um, literally it's so difficult. And the hard thing is that um like God, what am I trying to say? Holy crap. I hate when this happens. The hard thing is that in order for me to kind of regulate, I have to constantly move, like push myself in the wheelchair or do a lot of sit stands. And as everybody knows, with MS, your energy level depletes very quickly. So it's a lot harder for me to try and self regulate to get myself warm because I just get exhausted too quickly, So I don't know. I'm hoping
Christy, I have a chair where I have my blanket and my heating pad that's always there. And then I have
mhm,
my bed where I've got two heating pads. I've got one for my feet. And when I go to bed, like when I go to get ready, I turn that on so that when I get into bed, my feet actually can feel warm for the first time probably of the whole day. And then I have my neck one. This one goes back and forth from my bedroom to
mm,
my chair. So anytime I'm in my chair, I have a blanket and I have two heating pads on me. So anytime I'm
What
sitting, I have that going on, even
what
in
is
summer.
around your neck? What's
It's a
around your
heating
neck?
pad.
It's my
it's a
heating
heating
pad.
pad.
It's a
What
heating
have you,
pad
Oh.
developed specifically for the neck, which I've never seen before. That's really cool, Carmen.
oh
Wait,
my
I mean,
God.
so like how do you heat it up? Is it electric or you heat it
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
like,
electric.
electric. You see it on the
Yeah.
side?
It's, sorry, I'm trying to get this.
wow. I mean, I know last year Kim and I just sucked up the gas bill
Like it's
for
just
the
a wrap.
winter.
Like it goes right over my shoulders like that. And then it's got a little neck piece that goes up your neck. It's by
Hmm.
mm, oh, what is it by? Sun, I don't know. I
Sunbeam.
can't remember. Sunbeam. Yes, thank you. Yeah, here.
I've also
Yeah.
seen, because I pondered too, how am I going to survive? And now that the change in season, even though we had like a super hot day, I think the day we did the skulls was really hot here, but just the my house is cold. It's stucco and it's cold and it's going to be cold until I don't know, the spring. So
I'm at 42 degrees today, you guys, right now. It's
Well,
cold.
here's the fun part with our heating system or just our general system. Um, it every so often it kicks on uh a thing. It's like a fresh air. So what it'll do is it'll pull outside air in to the house, and it could be like, oh, I don't know, -5 degrees, and it's pulling in the fresh air. And I'm like, we need to make that stop. we we're still trying to figure that out. It's something that's set up in like standard and newer systems here in Colorado. So it's horrible.
There
Yeah,
should be some kind of like heat recovery system that you could put in that is between the air intake and what comes into your house.
I don't know. I think that might screw up the
Heat,
fresh
heat,
air.
heat recovery ventilation, I think HRV, I think that's what it's called. My husband's a heating
It,
guy, so I hear about all these different things. So fresh air is
well,
really good, but you
yeah.
should have some way of it mixing with like your regular air or like so that you're not just getting cold air like air conditioning blowing on you in the winter, right?
Oh, yeah. It's like air conditioning. It's horrible, and it's like
Ooh.
it's. Oh, I hate it. I wish the system did that. This house is the first house I've moved into that it has fresh air that it pulls in, and it runs for like 10 or 15 minutes.
You know
It's
what? There
horrible.
must be some different settings, and like I would get someone to just take a look at your system and see if you could A, change the timing on how long that's blowing, because you don't need 10 or 15 minutes of air, cold air coming in. That's crazy. Your system is having to heat and then it cools and then it's having to heat again. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, and I've gone through the settings, and that is the shortest time in the settings. I'm just like, are you kidding me?
Hmm.
You're killing me, because like I'll be actually somewhat comfortable, and then that fresh air thing pops on, and I just want to, like, I don't know, like take a bat to the system and kill it. Like, stop
No
doing
doubt.
this.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So
I gotta go. I don't even know if you can hear me. I'm gonna close the app
Yeah, we can hear you,
because
Karen. Bye. I'm gonna go
it's
too.
it's
It's
not
late.
I
moving,
gotta
but
go. I gotta head out too, because
Yeah. Good night,
I'm
everybody.
exhausted. Good
Talk to
night.
you
It
in
was
three
good talking with
weeks.
you guys.
Hope you
Yes.
feel better, Christy.
Me too. I'm over this. So,
Yeah. But hang
alrighty.
in there. Hang in there.
All right. You too.
Bye. Bye,
And it was
Sherry.
great talking with you guys.
Yeah.
Bye
Have a good
bye.
Take
night.
care. Night,
Good
Kim.
night.
Bye.